Welcome back to the channel. Today's tutorial. We're going over the west side. Before we go over the west side, we're going to cover a brief north, a couple little ditties. We're going to take out these two tiles here. If you built the previous build, you'll need to remove those. You'll also need to remove this tile here. You'll also need to add a wall for the ads to keep them from walking to the part of the amp that we don't want them to. We're just going to add complete this wall even with the hill coming up the back side over here. Like I said. Now we're gonna cover the amp that we're doing today. I just had to do a couple little fixes there before. The pathing for the west amp that we're covering is the cave amp. But they're gonna come barreling through this cave, and it's gonna be propane wave, a tornado wave. And the pathing is going to be like so. Just place the tiles, just fill up this tunnel with metal tiles. And, these two, you can usually push them off the cliff for the most part. We're also going to have a block off to the north and add a little zappy zap to this tile right here underneath this block off. So we're going to block off that hill with a damage trap underneath it. Alright, moving on. Now we're going to add some more block off. Okay, moving on. The block off's going to be on this hill over here with the little cone, just the standard cone. And then we're going to have one more wall right here to keep them from wanting to go around that way. And also we're gonna have to cone off that back hill over there with something other than brick. We're gonna add one more row of block off to this. You probably just need to add one. We probably don't need to add this one in the center, but just fill it in like that, and that'll prevent the enemies from wanting to go up that way. So yeah, and this is their spawn point. They spawn like right here, and they'll walk. They'll want to take a little stroll right through our traps right here, and this is a really fun amp to have a trap tunnel on. You can get a little creative with it. This is also the last amp that we're working on, and if you haven't already, go ahead and touch that like button and join the Wolves by subscribing and letting me know if this is helpful to y'all or not. I'd appreciate it. Okay, we're just gonna add a little roof right here. So. Right. And then we're just gonna fill in this tunnel, all the walls along this tunnel, because this is the main pathing. Just like that. And that, yeah. And even the tiles that I didn't uh, place, just fill up the tunnel with walling. We're gonna add a couple yeetificator 4000s. It's a yeet with a 4, which should bring the enemies to about right there. And sometimes they'll fall off the cliff, sometimes not. It's just to barely stun them for about 4 or 5 stuns, assuming they're not dead by then, which sometimes they're not. So yeah, just a wall launcher with the impact 4, and on this opposite side too. But this opposite side will push them off. This pushes them off the edge of the map, which is what you want anyway. This is a kill tunnel. Little kill tunnel here. So we're going to block it off so we can add the proper traps inside the tunnel later on. And remember, this is the last amp that we're building. If you haven't already, check out the other tutorials. It'd be appreciated. Alright, moving on. We're just placing a couple walls here for some more yeetificators to push them off the map. It's also fun to watch from the away from keyboard spot if you're not away from keyboard at the location above the UFO amp. There's a good view to just watch them get pushed off. Okay, we're gonna put in the ceiling. Don't forget to put the ceiling in, and we're gonna make sure smashers die. So this end of the tunnel is gonna be for smashers, and just in case the tornado wave that hits around wave 14 or 15, 14 I believe, the tornado usually destroys parts of this anyway. So we're just going to add a couple extra traps to the end of this tunnel, which will be very beneficial. And now we don't want the enemies to just come straight down this tunnel, so we're going to add a little zigzaggy, roll it upper zigzaggy tunnel right here, and you can use big tall walls if you like, but today I'm going to be using small walls. That way the wall darts I place at the end of this tunnel right here has a chance to damage them correctly. So you just need a lower wall, so yeah, like that. And now we're going to just copy paste, got it there, to copy paste it. Now zigzaggy through this tunnel like that, and believe it or not, that'll slow the enemies down enough where they usually make it to right here, mostly, unless there's a bad propane problem, which occasionally happens recently with the update. But sometimes the propane isn't completely stunned, so we want to take that propane away. So we're going to use just any sound wall will work right here. I'm using this one right here. We're going to use 2 of them, zigzaggy right here and here, on these main tiles on the entrance of our cave tunnel of death. And now we're going to add a couple ceiling electric fields and wooden floor spikes, and we're gonna fill this tunnel up with some wooden floor spikes, because believe it or not, wooden floor spikes are very effective on slowing the enemies down. But it only usually slows them about one tile slow, and then you can alternate one wooden floor tile and then another trap if you like. And at the end of this tunnel, we're gonna have to kill a smasher or two. Just, you know, the usual smasherification death tunnel here. And just to remind you, I have a couple. If you built which I know y'all have, because y'all are wonderful people. We're gonna add. Don't forget that we're just gonna add some traps, zigzaggy traps here, like this. But don't forget, like just forgot what I was saying. Oh no. I should probably record everything over and destroy the amp for the 5th time. No, just kidding. Moving on. Yeah, it's been a long night. So we're gonna add. These are the traps we're just gonna add to the tunnel. We're gonna add wall darts, wall dynamos, and some broads, a broad or two, because it never hurts to have a broad or two around the corner, if you know what I'm saying. Like that. But for the ceilings, we can pretty much get creative, the same creativeness. And we're gonna add wall dynamos to this the last corner before our tunnel. We're at the end of it, right there. And that'll kill most enemies. Now we're just gonna fill this up with a couple zappy ceiling electric fildificators, and we're gonna put a couple extra traps here and there just for the fun of it, because we like to have fun. This is Plankerton. This is our fun, man. Actually, it hasn't been very fun, actually. Sorry about that. And we're gonna add one tire thing right here on that to possibly stun them. Fill up the ceiling with the ceiling electrics. Like this, with the stats like that. The same ceiling electrics I use are the 144s. Yeah, like that. I'm just gonna fill this up. And we have extra structures. I would have a lot more extra structures if I didn't have a giant skull and a couple of other extra unnecessary builds. But you should have plenty of structures to flex on Plankerton and add extra traps here and there. And this is after the update, so this works fine. We're just gonna fill up a couple of these empty walls with wall dynamos and wall darts. The wall darts are going to be at a location where they'll shoot down both ways if an enemy makes it to this point in the tunnel. And yeah, and believe it or not, that right there is the gist of our tunnel. This spawn point here, they're gonna run right here like the intelligent enemies that they are. They're gonna do a loopy, scoopy, zigzaggy, deathificate, zappy zap tunnel like a so, and yeah, they're gonna make it to our amp. Well, I hope y'all, oops, just smashed the wall. I hope y'all enjoyed today's tutorial. Don't forget to cover your amp and hit the subscribe and like button if this was helpful to you. And comment if you have any questions. You know, uh, any question whatsoever. You know. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day. See y'all. And stay tuned after the show for a couple fixes to our north, south, west, and the away from keyboard swap. Today we're going to go over a couple little flexy, uh, or whatnots. We're going to have to add a couple zappies to our south amp. If you haven't built this south amp right here, get a good look at it. Pause the video at the point that you need, and you should get the professionals should know exactly what this amp is, and you could get a gist of it just from this location right here. And we're gonna add just a couple zaps. Believe it or not, after the update, the traps don't last as long. It just seems the tire traps are just, you know how that goes. So we're just going to add a couple ceiling electrics just along the edges of the south build here. So yeah, just go crazy with it. Add a couple like that. You can even if you're not away from keyboard, you could come down here and check on it at about the 15th wave. Alright, now we're going to cover the north amp. There's a couple of modifications that we need to do to the north to make it completely assassin proof. The assassin husks can be annoying. They want to go directly toward the player no matter where they are, so we're just going to trap this corner right here to eliminate any possible chance that the assassin husk will want to punch this wall. And believe it or not, this little trap right here will kill anything that comes to this corner. So yeah, just like that. And this is the north amp, which is usually the very first amp that gets attacked during a Plankerton Endurance. And we're going to add one more block off to make 100% sure that the enemies want to go toward our amp and not toward the assassin annoying corner. Next. Alright, now just a little brief cover that we need to do on a block off on the UFO west side of the UFO over here. We need to add metal. Don't forget that this needs to be metal, and we're also going to add a couple of traps that will prevent slingers. That's right, the slingers are annoying, and no matter what, they want to come over here. And this you can just add a block this off. We'll usually keep it from wanting to annoy us. So yeah. And one little kicker, I'm gonna add a trap just to annoy the slinger if he makes it up past this box. And you can do whatever. One more thing, we're gonna add just one more zappy zap trap. And don't forget to upgrade all this. I know I keep saying that, but and you see stuff not upgraded, but yeah, next. Okay, now we need to do one more thing, and one more last thing on the UFO wave to have a completely successful mission. Your away from keyboard spot needs to be at the UFO wave, which is on the north side. And the way you're going to away from keyboard is 9 tiles in the air. And you can do a little DNA strand, uh, get yourself dizzy, and make everyone click away because you're running in a circle stairway, like I said, 9 tiles in the air. And this will be your away from keyboard spot. And believe it or not, this just having being up this tall, the assassin husk uh, will still come toward you, and no matter where you are, for sometimes. But when you're up here, they won't usually always come toward you. They usually come toward our kill boxes. So we're just gonna have this final away from keyboard spot with and believe it or not, that's pretty much it for today. And I hope this is helpful. We're going to cover Twine next, so woohoo! Get ready for that. Good to see y'all.